issues relating to objections. As you know, there are objections that were raised throughout the day at the voting stations with presiding officers. Those objections have been dealt with by the presiding officers. There are a few that members or whoever objected or raised that objection say, well, I have heard my objection has been fully dealt with, or I'm not satisfied with this. Those kinds of objections are being sent to the Commission, and we have received those. We are, in fact, spending time dealing with them. But I must indicate they're very insignificant in number. This is not dealing with other categories of objections that ordinarily the law provides must be raised before 2100 hours tomorrow. The third issue that I thought I would deal with, and Kulube, I think this is an issue that I thought I should just deal with because I'm here. It's the comment, citizen, that you raised about our comment on the ANC chairperson and diversity of votes in Orania. I think on the first one, I certainly don't have. We have been very tough, and I think the best person would be the ANC chairperson, in truth. But we haven't had, and I think it would not be correct. I think people vote where they are ordinarily residents. We don't do, and there is no requirement in law for us to go and do an analysis of so-and-so resides there. And, when they reside there, the address, provides that they live in that area. That's really what we do. And so it does not engage for one area of the country diversity and in another area no diversity. Those are the ones I thought I should deal with.
The question related to exceptions. There are a different genre of objections which are system generated. There are exceptions that relate to voter turnout. In other words, the system sets a certain parameter to say if there's turnout of more than 100% as an example, it will be an exception that requires an investigation. Secondly, the second genre is if a party gets 200 votes on the provincial ballot and gets 2 votes on the national ballot. It doesn't mean it's necessarily incorrect, but it calls for caution. Hence, it raises an objection. The stations at which counting was happening at around 3 include those that had voted until much late, including Arcadia, Swembad, including places such as Johannesburg's City Hall, Devon City Hall, and the like. So those are some of the stations that had a huge counting endeavor to make. Remember that the quantum to count at those stations is influenced by 2 factors. One, the fact that those stations are counting 3 ballots, and 2, that there's a high turnout. So when in the past it would have taken, let's say, 2 hours to conclude the counting, in the present case it would take 3.5 hours and so on. So those really, I presume that at this stage the counting process may in fact be concluded. Were any voters turned away? Indeed, there may be instances where voters may be turned away for a myriad of reasons. It may be that they were not at the correct voting station. In terms of the Electoral Act, you vote where you are registered unless you had a Section 24A approved. In instances where a person had a proof that they had applied for a Section 24A. Those were investigated if they were brought to the attention, and where a ballot was due, it was given. Recounts are not necessarily authorized by the Commission unless the result slip had been concluded. But if still within the confines of a voting station, party agents together with the presiding officer will find one another on the necessity or otherwise for recounts. However, if in the process of investigating an exception, it becomes necessary to order a recount, it can also be reordered by the Commission, but in the context of finalizing a result in the system. I think all questions are answered. Thank you.
I'm going to go to block 3 for the last questions for this press briefing.
Thank you, Kate. Faith Daniels from ENCA. I'd like to find out just a sentiment from the IEC if you are satisfied with how things progressed yesterday and the counting at the moment, given the fact that you are being criticized by members of the public and political party agents, saying that things really should have run smoother, and we were well aware of the third ballot and the fact that that would have some sort of impact. Thanks.
Good afternoon. My name is Bloemfontein. I work for International IDEA. Just a quick question on the role of the auditors in the results management process. If you could throw more light on that, and specifically to let us know, does the IEC cover the cost of those auditors in the process? Thank you.
Good afternoon, Diane Hawker from Deutsche Welle. The question relates to the IEC staff and the training that they received. A lot of the complaints that we've been hearing from members of the public and also issues witnessed on election day, it did seem like there were issues in terms of the understanding by staff in different voting stations as to what should happen if the machines didn't work. Some people were told, no, we can't continue, or in some stations we heard of voting stopping completely when it shouldn't have. Is the IEC concerned, or does it have any comment on the level of training that it gave its staff ahead of this election?
That's about it. I request Peladi. Are you done, Ceci?
Sorry, can I ask a question, please? Rachel Savage from The Guardian.
I can't hear you. Can you just raise your voice properly?
Rachel Savage from The Guardian. I was wondering if I could ask a follow-up question about turnout. Is the IEC able to give us a more precise projection of final turnout, and can you say for sure whether turnout increased compared to the 2019 national elections? Thank you.
Thank you very much, colleagues. Please let us not repeat the questions. I'm only going to take the questions from the online platform as we wrap up. CEO, I see a lot of waving at the back. Peladi, do you have any online questions, please?
We've got two questions online. One is from Bongam Tembu from Lokshin FM. The IEC has vowed to take action after 474 out of 500 registered parties failed to submit audited financial statements. What actions will the IEC take against those parties going forward? And the last one is from Ndivuo Mlaudzi, Future Stars Media. There had been reports of large number of voters being turned away just after 9 p.m., especially in the metropolitan areas. Has the Commission been aware of that? If so, what measures are being done to hold those accountable? 2, were more resources allocated to voting stations that had no longer turnout, that had no longer turnout of voters? I think, yeah.
Say
Thank
that
you.
again, Piladi, sorry.
Yeah, I think
Okay, read it
there's a
slowly,
typo
let's
here.
hear. What measures?
Were more resources allocated to voting stations that had, I think it's lower turnout of voters,
Okay.
not longer. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we get you. CEO. I've got 3 hands up.